日本の皆様、はじめまして、カルケと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。これから経営学の論理の基本的なことを簡単に説明させていただきたいと思っております。ご覧ください。Hello, my name is Eduardo Jarque, and I will tell you the basics of business administration. The basic logic, I will explain to you the basic logic of business administration. So there are certain elements that every business has that we need to understand in order to success. So every business needs goals. A goal is what the business wants to achieve. And every business needs a strategy, which is how the business plans to achieve those goals, how the business plans to make those goals a reality for the business. So every business needs an organization in order to pursue the strategy, in order to achieve those goals, right? So later on I will tell you examples, concrete examples of every of those. But for now, I will tell you very briefly which are those elements that we need to have in mind in order to understand the logic of business administration. So, every business needs an organization. And every organization is formed by people. And all of the people have their own interests and their own motivations. And that motivations of the individuals within the organization need to be online, need to be aligned with the motivations and with the goals of the whole organization in order to have a prosperous environment within the company. But for now, let's say that every organization is made of people and other resources, which are technology, which technology can be machines, for example, could be a specific way of doing things, for example. So, all right, concretely speaking, there are four types of resources, basically speaking. There are people, that is human resources. There is technology. There is money, which is very important, a very important resource, which is called financial resources. And there are what is called physical resources, which are assets, let's say, for example, machines, buildings, etc. So, but for now, let's have in mind that every organization is made of people, and so every business needs customers if the business wants to sell products and services to earn money, right? So, in order to earn money, every business needs to produce and sell products and deliver services, right? So we have products and services, right? So that need to be sold in order to earn money, right? So once there is money, every business needs to know how to wisely manage the money. And the money here comes from two sources. the money could be from sales, from selling products and services to the customers, and which is called revenues. And the money could be earned or received by investors. So the money we receive from investors is called capital. So in order to do that, in order to do all of what I said, in order to wisely, meaning intelligently, set goals and develop a strategy and implement that strategy to achieve those goals, and in order to design a proper structure, meaning an organization, meaning integrating people with technology, machines, buildings and other fixed assets, and money to pursue the strategy to achieve those goals. And in order to be able to produce products and services and sell those products and services to the customers, every business needs knowledge, right? So knowledge is a very important element. And every business is embedded in a society. So we have an extra element here, which is culture. We have external culture, which is the culture of the society, the culture and the principles of the specific society. And we have internal culture, which is the values and the principles of the people within the organization, right? So in order to better understand each of those elements, there are several academic disciplines, academic fields of study that will help us to understand and better perform each of those elements, right? So, for example, the academic discipline that helps us to better set a goal and design and implement a strategy to achieve those goals is called strategic management. And strategic management is divided in two. We have business strategy and corporate strategy, basically speaking. There's a third type, which is business unit strategy, but for now, let's say that we have two types of strategies. We have business level strategy and corporate level strategy. So, business strategy is designed to achieve what is called competitive advantage. Meaning that business strategy, which is business level strategy, which is the strategy that we design and implement at the business level, meaning that a specific isolated business unity, meaning for example a company as one specific company. So the main purpose of business strategy is to achieve competitive advantage, right? So in order to achieve competitive advantage tells us how to compete within a single industry, right? So meaning that to do better than our competitors. And well, there's a whole subject on business strategy and on how to achieve competitive advantage that we will see on detail in a specific course called business strategy, right? But from now on, let's say that business strategy tells us the specific forces of an industry, the specific elements that influence a specific industry so that we can understand those elements and we can design a strategy to be able to compete and, let's say, achieve better results than our competitors. So this is called business strategy. And then the other type of strategy is called corporate strategy. Or let's say corporate level strategy. So basically speaking, corporate strategy will tell us in what industry to compete. In what industry to compete. And more broadly speaking, in what industry and in what geographic area to compete. In what geographic region to compete. So this implies the allocation of resources among industries. So what I'm saying is we need to decide first in what industry the business is going to compete. Meaning that what is the kind of product and service that I will bring inside a specific industry. In what industry am I going to compete? So here we have five basic corporate strategies, which are vertical integration. Well, I will tell you the five, and then I will explain you each of those, right? So we have vertical integration, we have diversification, we have strategic alliances, and we have international strategies, right? So let me recapitulate. Is vertical integration, diversification, strategic alliances, and international strategies. And there's one more. It's called merger and acquisitions, meaning that a company that buys or acquires another company, right? So we have five. I will put it right in here. All right. So we have these two types of fields of study or academic disciplines: strategic management, and which is business strategy, and corporate strategy, right? We will see a specific course on each of those to deeply study each of those, right? But for now on, let's say that strategic management is the academic discipline that helps us to better set goals and design and implement strategies to achieve those goals, right? So we have organization, right? So there's a specific field of study which is organizational design or organization, just like that, or organizational theory, that helps us understand how to design a proper structure, how to integrate resources, meaning how to integrate technology, buildings, method, knowledge within people to pursue the strategy to achieve those goals, right? So here we can have, we can imagine one principle. So the structure, the organizational structure, needs to be designed following the strategy. Needs to be designed, adapted to be able to perform the strategy to achieve those goals, right? So the next element we have here is customers and products, right? So the academic field that helps us understand customers and products and design products to meet the needs of those customers is called marketing. Basically what marketing does is to help us understand, well, markets and customers to better design products and services to do two things. To first attract customers and then keep those customers, right? is we need to attract customers, and then we want those customers to stay with our company, right? To stay consuming, to stay buying those products and services that we offer, right? So that is basically what marketing does. So within marketing, we have here, well, there are 4 basic concepts of marketing. Well, all right, so what marketing does, I will tell you those 4 basic principles, concepts of marketing, which is we need to be able to understand product decisions, meaning what to produce. We need to understand channel decisions, meaning where and how to distribute our products in order to be delivered to the customer, right? So there's product decisions, channel decisions, promotion and communication decisions, which is how we are going to let the customers know that they need our product, right? So those are communication decisions, right? And there is one more element, of course, I'm just recapitulating, which is very, very important, is pricing decisions, right? So pricing decisions, meaning that what could be the right price for our product to be competitively sold to the market, to our customers, right? And there is also one very important activity that marketing does, which is analyzing markets and customers, right? So we have within marketing 5 elements, right? We have analyzing markets and customers. We have product decisions. We have distribution or channel decisions. We have communication and promotion decisions. And we have pricing decisions, right? So, all right, so we have marketing that helps us to better understand customers and design an adequate products to satisfy the needs of those customers, to attract and retain and keep those customers happy with our products, right? All right. So the academic discipline, let's talk about money, it's very important. The academic field of study or the academic discipline that help us manage money, both the money that comes from investors as capital and other sources, but for now, let's say capital, and the money that comes from customers as revenues or sales. So the academic field of study or that helps us better manage money is called corporate finance. And accountings, which, well, within finance there is accountings, which basically accountings do three basic things, 3 basic activities. One is to keep a record of every financial transaction. Okay, to keep a record of the amount of money that enters the company through sales and other sources of revenues. So this is called bookkeeping, to keep track of where the money is and how the money moves within the company, right? So the other basic activity is called financial reporting, meaning that we need to be able to see a whole picture of the financial situation of the company, right? So we need to be able to see how many assets the company has, how many money the company is earning, and how many money the company is spending, and how many profits we are receiving after every accounting cycle, right? Which is basically 1 year, right? So this is what accountings do, basically speaking, right? There's a whole subject on that, and we will study specifically how to keep a record of every financial transaction that will tell us specifically how the money enters the company and where the money is allocated within the company. We will study how to do financial reporting, which is showing at every specific moment what is the financial situation of the company. And, well, several techniques on how to keep actually physical money, how to physically receive money and keep the money, for example, in the bank and in any other investing options, right? Which would lead us to corporate finance, which is basically speaking when businesses, let me say now, with growth, I mean when a business grows, let's say company, when a company grows, then the company needs to wisely manage its money. The company needs to be able to invest those resources, to invest the money in profitable ways, at least not to lose money, right? And the company needs, if it wants to grow, to attract more money as the other type of money, as investment, right? So investment, or, well, it is called funding, meaning that to raise capital, to be able to receive money from other agents outside the company in the form of stocks, for example. The company can sell a stock of its own company. A stock, what a stock means is a share of the future profits of the company, right? So for example, if a company sells products and services and, alright, basically speaking, the company receives money from selling a product and service, pay the cost of producing that product and service, and after that pay taxes, because every company needs to pay taxes, of course. The remaining amount of money is called profits, right? So once the company has profits, we will have here two options: to pay those profits, to give those profits to the shareholders, meaning the owner of the company, owner or owners of the company, briefly speaking, of course, or to reinvest those profits to make the company grow, which is what most of companies do. Alright, so this is called corporate finance, right? So as we can see, from those basic elements, we can have an idea of how the company, every company or every business operates, and what academic disciplines will help us to better understand first and to better perform each of the activities needed to achieve the best position on every of those elements, right? So this is the basic logic of business administration. I hope you enjoy learning business administration as I do, and I will see you in the future. いかがでしたでしょうか？それではよろしくお願いいたします。